Yeah, yeah. No, I know. I'm sorry. I'll try and keep a better frequency up. Yeah, yeah. I know. It's been busy, but hopefully, we're back to regular schedule uploads. Don't worry. All right. Yeah, yeah. I'll see you tonight. Yeah, yeah. No worries. Okay, cool. All right. Cool, cool, cool. That was your mum. She's just wondering where album of the week has been. So, we're back with album of the week. It only took 4 episodes, and we lost the streak. I hope you know that it will get lost again, but I will try my utmost to try and go at least another 4 weeks. So, to bring us back to album of the week, I want to talk about an incredible album that I only came across quite recently in my life, like the last couple of years, and that is the wonderful works of Michael McDonald. So his debut album, If That's What It Takes, is one of the pinnacle albums of the 80s. It came out in 1982, I believe. It was recorded from 1980 to 1982, but the album alone is one of the best albums I think I've ever heard. The people that worked on this album, including the instrumentalists and the writers and the production team and the mixing team, are the cream of the crop. They are the best of the best from the 80s. I'll talk about a few of the songs in a moment, obviously, but just talking about Michael McDonald, I came across him, very recently. However, I've heard his voice multiple times because, little known fact about Michael McDonald, he has been the backing vocalist for anyone that was around in the 70s and 80s. He's known as the backing singer from that era, and he's just an incredible artist. One of my favourite songs of all time, believe it or not, is What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. And I've listened to this song for years. I don't really listen to a lot of the Doobie Brothers other than that song. It's just, for me, one of the most amazing songs, and the harmonisation on the voice is incredible. And then it was only, last year that I was listening to Michael McDonald for his debut album, and I was really enjoying it. Thought there was an amazing songs on it. Really loved his voice. Only to find out that he was one of the main voices on that single. And from then on, I just went on a deep dive into everything that he's done, and it's just wild. So talking about the people that worked on this production, if you just look at the list here of the people that are included, some of those names there you might recognise, some you might not, but a few of them, especially these three. So these guys here that worked on this album, they were, incredible session musicians and just well known around the area. You might have heard of their band that they were in, just like a small band that just created the hit song Africa. So just a tiny band called Toto. Crazy, right? So the guys from Toto obviously were on this song as session musicians, and that's what makes this album just such an amazing standard for the 80s, and just it is the top of all performers and engineers that are included. So going on to my top three, I'm just going to say my top one, and it is probably the biggest known song on the album, is I Keep Forgetting. This song for me, it's on the same level as What a Fool Believes. So this song just takes all the groove and the funk from Michael Jackson and that era and just brings it over to Michael McDonald with his vocals on top, and it just has such a groove to it that is really hard to beat, and I just think it's one of the best songs from the 80s, hands down. I think it's an incredible piece. The arrangement and the composition itself is just so perfectly melded together, and it just sucks me in every time I hear it. So that has to just be the best single of Michael McDonald's career, and it comes out on his first album, which is just incredible. But this song is just a masterpiece. The second song that I'm going to include for my top three is Playing by the Rules. This song starts off the album, and it really gives you an idea of like what to expect for production, and obviously the performances are all top of the class, and Michael's vocals are just like the perfect, whiskey that it's just so smooth and just so buttery. It's just so perfect. And Playing by the Rules just really sets the tone for the album. It's an album that you kind of sit down and you just listen to, and you just experience it for the first time, and it's incredible. And even listening to it today, just going through the album, there's bits that I noticed that like maybe there's a bit of key changes or stuff like that, and I'm just like, it works so well. And obviously that's to do with the plethora of people that worked on this and the level that those people are at the top of the game. So Playing by the Rules definitely has to be up there. It's hard to choose just three because the whole album is an absolute treasure trove of just perfect songs. Michael McDonald's voice is the voice for me for the 80s. He was just amazing. The performances on here are nothing short but perfection. So my third song is going to be That's Why. And for me, this song is incredible of the development of the song. It begins with a bit of a ballad. It's quite soulful. You feel like you're really connecting with Michael and his words and his character of vocals. And then halfway through, it just gives you that turnaround, and it's just so groovy and so funky. And yet Michael's voice still sounds so soulful and fits perfectly in this amalgamation of this perfect song. And that's why it definitely has to be in my top 3. The whole album for me is a no-skip album. So if that isn't enough to get you interested to go and check it out, then please do. This album isn't just about Michael McDonald and obviously the amazing performance and the amazing album that it is, but it also showcases so many important individuals that were around in the 80s, and the session players, the engineers and stuff, even the songwriters and stuff. It wasn't all done by Michael McDonald. This album in particular for me stands out because it shows the absolute cream of the crop for performers, producers, engineers and stuff. This album has so many people that worked on it, and it shows how many individuals were involved with building these albums and actually getting them to where they are. I feel like the collaboration on this album really gives it the character that it has. Obviously, with Michael being in the right place at the right time, having the incredible voice that he has and knowing the people, that's what makes this album so special. But I think it's really important to show how collaboration can really create one of the best albums of a decade. And that's not to say that people now on laptops can't create incredible albums. I mean, hello, Justice. I mentioned them the other week, and for me that again is an album of non-skips, and it was 2 people locked away in a little basement studio, and they created one of the best albums for me of the decade. But I feel like we don't have the same levels with obviously studios shutting down and stuff. It's so hard now in the music industry to see an album like this be made by so many people. And that's not to say that the pop artists of today aren't run like that, you know, like they have their team of everyone and everyone is at the top of their game. So I just want to say, if you look up anyone in this and just find out what they've done, you'll be blown away by how much the people on this album have impacted the music as a whole. Including Michael himself. So for that, I just want to say thank you guys. But yeah, that's been it for today. Thank you guys for jumping in and checking out this video. I appreciate everyone that was sending me messages and just asking about album of the week, keeping me accountable. I appreciate you guys a lot. I will be starting something else alongside these videos, but hopefully, you know, album of the week will continue as album of the week for at least another 4 weeks. We can pray. So yeah, just want to thank you guys ever so much again. Appreciate you jumping in, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Give me a like if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it. All feedback is good feedback to me, so I appreciate everything. So thank you very much for jumping in, and I will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.